What's up, everybody? Tomcat back here again, and the title of today's video is Riots, Looters, and Homeless, oh my. So the early 2000s, I was homeless 4 times. All 4 times in the city. Now the first 2, I was in Chesterfield, Michigan, and right behind the trailer park there was some woods. So I made a tent. And occasionally I get messed with. But you know what? 1 time out of 4, I had a bag that had food, water, medicine, and something to keep warm with. A little propane stove or heater or something, because it was the middle of winter every time I was homeless. I was homeless downtown Detroit in the Viaducts, living under them, because I got in a tiff with my boss, and I was right and he was wrong. But I left and I was living there. So I've been homeless downtown Detroit, suburbs of Michigan. I've been in the middle of riots. Crazy riots where there's like 100 people charging down the street. And you don't go walk up to anybody in that situation. You walk the other way. There's 100 people. All it takes is one person to notice you're not just fading into the background. And they'll focus on you, and then the group's focused on you. So the best thing to do in a riot is either not be in one or get the hell out of it. I dealt with looters. Where I was living, people were looking for money or something they could take to the pawn shop for drugs. So they kicked open doors at houses. I was at a hotel at the time. Kicked open my door. But I'm still here talking to you, so how do you think that went through? It didn't go good for me, and it didn't go good for them, but I'm still here to talk about it. I got the stripes to talk about what I talk about. 4 a.m., I'm in my hotel room sleeping. SWAT team kicks open my door. I wake up. I've got like 5 people with guns pointed at me. Wrong house, wrong location, wrong person. Took a long time to describe that, hey, I'm not that dude. I didn't do nothing to nobody. But I've been there. You want to know what it's like to be woken up at 4 a.m. with a bunch of people with guns pointing at you? That's not what's up. I'm going to leave it at that. So now I'd already established riots, looting, and homelessness. And I said, 1 time out of all those, I had a little bug out bag that I made. Extra clothes, extra socks. Socks are key when you're homeless. But I didn't have anything the other times, and I made it with nothing. That's why I made the last video, that nothing's off the table. I'm still here, guys. I'm talking to you right now. That was the early 2000s to like 2005 or some shit. But I'm still here talking to you, so I made it. That's why I said you don't need the latest and greatest. You can make it with nothing. When I was homeless, I was working at a temp agency. And the money I made, because it was Michigan and it was winter, I didn't make much, guys. And the only way I got warm was I went to a garage sale and I bought a little propane heater. And I went to a store called Meijer, which is like Publix. And I bought a couple of propane tanks. And I would sit in my tent with that. When I needed to get warm after work, I would go to the movies and watch the same movie over and over. Date movie and Larry the Cable Guy's Health Inspector. That was the time period. So riots, get out of the situation. I don't care how strong you are, how tough you are, how armed you are. You get like 100 people swarming your house, and you don't even know it until it's too late. You're gonna wanna leave. Take your family and go. If you got a bunch of preps in your vehicle, you got a metal Christmas present for people. Because what happens if a bunch of traffic is blocking up the roads and you can't leave by car. Now you're on foot and you're trying to avoid like 100, 200, 300 people. This is real speak, real life, and I got the stripes to talk about it, so I am. Looters looking for something they're going to take to the, I don't know, they're going to take it somewhere, to somebody or to a pawn shop. But they don't care about you. They don't care about your family. They'll bust your doors open, do what they got to do to get what they got to get, and they're going to bounce to the next house. And I got the stripes to talk about it, so I am. Because a lot of people got shit twisted, thinking that everything is okay just because they never been through this shit. But I have. I got my ass kicked plenty of times. I've been shot, I've been stabbed, I've been through the shit. And not safe for work, not safe for home, not safe for nothing. But real speak. People are unpredictable. And when you get over 100 people, you ain't shooting and stabbing your way through 100 people, man. I'm telling you right now from experience. You get the hell out of there. Now you look to your left, there's 100 people. You look to your right, there's like 50 people. You look north and south. And there's people coming up rioting. What do? You don't walk into the group. You fade into the background. Gray man. And hope to hell nobody notices you. One person notices you, the group's on you. And then the looting. People going door to door. Taking your shit. You can't get out because traffic is a bitch. How you gonna drive through a bunch of broken down and parked cars? What, are you gonna push them all out while like 100 people are right behind you trying to get to you? Sometimes you gotta go on foot. That's why I like the woods. I know the woods. They don't. I can get through and get by. Even taking care of a disabled wife and all, I can get the hell on. SWAT team busted in your door at 4 a.m. Could be the SWAT team, could be the Army, could be Homeland Security, could be anybody. What do? You just wake up. You got a bunch of guns pointed at you. You can't even get to your gun, and you have to talk your way out of it and de-escalate the situation. You ain't going John Wayne on that shit. You're fucked. Now you're homeless. You got a vehicle and you got stuff pointed in there. If you can't defend it, or there's too many people and you get overrun, now you just got a big metal shiny Christmas gift to these motherfuckers. So now you're darting out into the woods. You're darting out to wherever, getting out of the danger zone. And you got nothing. Now it's time for mindset. Now it's time to make something out of nothing, isn't it? See, I only talk about things I got stripes to talk about. Because I've been there, I've done that. 3 a.m., downtown Detroit, under the viaducts. Dealing with crackheads, heroin addicts. All you want to do is get some sleep, but people keep creeping up. And drunks and drug addicts, you can't control them like you can a person that's not under the influence. And I'm telling you that from experience. So what do? Now you're fucked. So what do? You try to de-escalate the situation, be in the background, and you try to say, hey, you know what? I'm getting the fuck out of this. So these are some things to consider, considering the times that we're in right now. So I love you guys. Stay strong, stay safe, stay positive. Come up with a plan, make it a damn good plan. Have a damn good backup plan. Have a damn good safety net plan. Have a damn good, if you ain't been through these things, you don't know how fast they can escalate and how dangerous they can be. So keep that in the back of your head, but the front of your mind. Because anything can happen at any time. Ask anybody who's ever been a victim of a B&E. Did they think they were going to wake up and be a victim of a B&E that day? Probably not. So just know, random people can be random problems and random solutions. So always keep your head about you, keep your wits around you, and know what's up. So I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow for more. Tomcat out!